What's up, guys? Here with a quick, not quick, but impromptu more video because I'm dropping stuff. My radio, my head unit in the Jeep, the Alpine stock with the hard drive and everything, went kaput on me over the last week. It's been flashing white screen, all that kind of stuff. And so my battery's gonna die. So had to go a cheap route. Now I figured since we're getting into it, I wanted, if possible, I wanted to be able to upgrade to Apple Carplay because I just love Apple Carplay. It makes everything better. And so quality wise, we'll see. I've heard a lot of good stuff. You may or may not have seen me on all the Jeep groups going, hey, what are you guys buying, all that kind of stuff. So I ended up with the Boss Audio, the higher powered head unit because I have a sub, the factory sub in mine. Not bypassing any of that, gonna stay with all the speakers and everything, but this and the extra kit. So I'll show you everything as we go through it. I'm pulling it out right now, but just wanted to kind of do the intro and kind of get this thing going. This is gonna be more like quick, hey, this is how I did this is how I did this, and hopefully have good results at the end of it. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the Vector Off-Road's mount is what is this, a size 4 hex key to get the 2 bolts that come with it anyway, if you kept those. There's a screw up top here in the little dash bucket. That's a 7mm socket. And then there'll be 7mm underneath and around the head unit. I finally, because I'm getting all grown up and everything, I went ahead and ordered the splooge tool to go ahead and pop that out. And then there's a red clip that you kind of pop up and the whole thing pops out. So we're gonna get that out, pull the head unit out. There's 4 bolts on it. And then we'll start to look at install instructions. All right, so there's that. I'm actually gonna wait to smash that with the hammer just to make sure it's not a connection issue, which I did pull all this apart last week, and there were no loose connections and no fuses blown. So there is that. Okay guys, day 2 started kind of late last night with pulling everything out and putting everything back in. So ended up wiring everything. It is quite involved. So let me just show you what came with this. Oops. So there's the kit that helps the steering wheel talk to the new head unit, which was, or is, can you see that? Yeah, is that one. And it came with the backup camera. So the pack gives you the adapter from the car, the Jeep, to loose wires, and then obviously the head unit comes with its own adapter as well to the back of that. So you got to splice all that together, and then the pack has another set of wires that come out of it as well. It was a little overwhelming because the pack actually comes with 2 different harnesses, and so at first you're like, wow, that's a lot. And then you realize, or I realized, you're only using one of them. So it took 25 minutes or so with these little wire connectors that Crutchfield sent, it just screw together. You can see, like, you put the wire through, and then they screw over the copper at the end of the wire and hold very strong. And then we got a very basic kit, and this is probably the only thing I'm disappointed with so far, as what came from Crutchfield, because it's just really cheap. I don't think it's going to look very nice as far as the edges, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. So we've got all that in. We've got it plugged into the Jeep. Everything was working. There was one issue with the pack last night, so the steering wheel cable wasn't working. But we figured that out. And so all we have to do is run the cable to the rear camera, and then get everything kind of tucked in and tightened down. Okay, guys, so we've got a mess. Let me get this to change. Come on, you. Come on. Okay, so we just kind of got it screwed in a little bit so it wouldn't fall out. We've got pretty much everything tucked. You can see our one backup camera wire. That's coming across the dash here. Let me flip this so I can see what I'm pointing at. So it's coming across, coming through, coming down the shrouds all the way down. That comes apart pretty easily. And then we were able to get it across the back here. Let me see, is that better? And then popped all this out, popped the rear driver's side light out, and that gives you the ability to get up there and get down here. So there's the camera. Our connections are right here. I'm gonna leave them there until I know for sure if everything is good and all that, and making sure I like where it's at and all that. So we're gonna put the mic right here as well. I like hiding it here because it's being blocked by the wind as well if we've got all the stuff out. And then I haven't found a good solution for the charging, the USB charge and the Apple CarPlay. Everything's working as far as that, as far as everything goes. Everything's working. We saw the backup camera already. I don't know why this is not switching. There we go. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get it a little more dialed in up here now, get that mic in, and then we'll wrap it up for you. Okay. It is now 746 degrees here in South Alabama. It's water. I'm not sweating. It's just water. So don't be grossed out. Okay, so we got the mic in. We got everything kind of cleaned up. Let me flip this around so I can see what I'm actually showing you. There we go. So everything kind of fits back there as far as this head unit goes. That's our backup camera. There's our microphone, which we ended up putting the mic right where I said I was going to, right there. We've done some test calls. It sounds really great. That's going to be blocked from the wind. Apple CarPlay. So for now, I've got that just kind of, I'm going to tape it to the dash down there, and then my wire, because I've got my vector bar. So that's just going to kind of go there, and then the Apple lightning cable will just kind of stay there. And then the other one, Teddy, go ahead and open that glove box for us. The other one we just wrapped around from the dash and just have it here in the glove box, and that closes without pinching or anything like that, because we've got a double charger down here, and my goal is to find the swap out for that. So the back of this would be those two USB ports, one for Apple CarPlay, one for charging, and then we wouldn't need this anyway. So that would look super clean. I looked a little bit last night and didn't find anything. So our next little bit here, we're gonna put the dash back. We got to put our vector bar back, and then we're 100%. Okay, guys, we're back. We got everything back in. Everything went well. First off, hardest part of this whole thing was getting the rear view camera cable all the way back there, and not back there because you can get into the under the, you know, carpet and all that. It's really that getting into the back driver's side tail light that helps you get down there and keep the wire inside the cab instead of out in the elements. So that was the hardest part. It wasn't hard, but that was the hardest part. The only thing that I think that I'm unhappy with at this point, and I said it earlier too, because it's kind of cheap, and I'm going to flip now so you guys can see everything I'm talking about, and then we're going to turn it on and play with it just a bit. So come on now, there we go. So this piece here, and it's not bad. I'm being picky because I am. This is part of the original. Come on, camera. There we go. That's all part of the original, and that did that when I had the Alpine in here too. So I can't really knock them for that, although I wish there was a bezel that just went around that. So anyway, let's crank her up so you guys can see. I've got my phone already in. Actually, let's put the phone here so you guys can see that. I'm having trouble.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, so I wanted you to see everything, so I'm blocking that. Am I blocking that? Okay, so there's it's already on Apple CarPlay. That's gonna be annoying. Let's shut this. Okay. So you do have some settings. If you hit Boss Elite, then it goes. So this is like the home screen, you know what I mean? So you've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you've got your radio, you've got SD card, AVN, which was back there. Streaming uses Bluetooth. There's the camera, so you can pull it up and see. I'll show you. I already showed you where it was mounted with the license plate. That made it pretty easy. And then here's your settings. So there's an EQ on it, subwoofer, your crossover filter. I don't notice a difference at all with this, guys. I don't know if mine's working. I've got it cranked all the way, and it I don't know if maybe it's my amp or whatever. I haven't really messed with that a whole lot yet. Here's the EQ, so you can see that. Pretty well adjustable. Loudness, I don't know what the difference is on that either. And then balance fader, if you're using your stock amp, this is not usable, so I can't fade to the rear. If you fade to the rear, it's just doing nothing, because everything's using the front now with the stock amp. If you're using a different, you know, your upgraded amp and all that, then obviously you have all those features still. If your phone's plugged in or Bluetooth on, then the Siri works. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 12:50 p.m.
So there you go. There's Apple CarPlay again. It works Bluetooth as well as far as USB and streaming music goes. And then my volume buttons and all that still work. That's actually, I didn't look to see. I guess that changes stations. Yeah, that's actually changing stations. Okay, so let's go back. Apple CarPlay. It gives you the layout like, and then your apps as well. So pretty decent. It's pretty bright. Overall, for the price, everything I got was $400. Okay, so for what we got, I'm happy. Let me flip this. Happy with and now it's freaking again. Let's see, Ted, come here. So overall, for $400, we've got the head unit, we've got the pack thing that tells your steering wheel to work with that head unit. We got the rear view camera, which was a big deal for me. We've got 5 kids. Scares the life out of me to not have a rear view camera, especially with how big this Jeep is. And then the, you know, the splooge tools, the, you know, to get all the plastic pieces off and all that kind of stuff. And this pretty cruddy dash adapter thing, which actually, it looks nicer than I thought it would. So all in all, like I said, $400. I think it was $420 with tax. We have an upgraded head unit system. It sounds good. It works with Apple Carplay, which is an upgrade for me from what it was. Only other weird thing, and this is Jeep. This is not anything that we bought from Crutchfield. That was all from Crutchfield, by the way. The only other thing that's weird is Uconnect Bluetooth still shows up. So you've got to forget that in your phone. You'll see, like I had mine named as Fox Jeep, and then I've got the Durango as well. So either you connect, it connects and works. It was still connecting, and I thought that was the head unit that did that, but apparently it's not. So keep that in mind if you're doing that. It's still going to show up, and that's messed up my phone calls when I was testing it at first, and then realized what was happening. No other weird stuff that had to be done. Reverse, I wired it the way that it told me to. Reverse works. If I put it in reverse, the camera pops up on the screen. I love that. The only other thing that I'm kind of disappointed in, and I'm gonna have to find myself, is a spot for these USBs to, I wish they would have given me a spot to swap it here, and I think I said that in the last little section, but I wish they would have given it, let's see if I can, I wish they would have just given me an adapter to pull this whole bit out, the cigarette lighter, and put the USBs to the back of it, and then you've got an Apple CarPlay one and a charger one. Not a huge deal either, considering everything else for just the head unit was $400. So the next cheapest, there was one cheaper that wouldn't use Apple CarPlay, and I thought if we're spending, I can spend another $25 to $45 and get Apple CarPlay. That is kind of a big deal. It makes it easy to drive and all that. And then there were some that came without the rear camera, and so you may have to shop a little bit. Crutchfield, like I said, at first I didn't see that kit, and then I started seeing it on Amazon, and then it showed up at Crutchfield. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not saying they're listening through your Amazon devices and iPhones and all that, but maybe they are. That's a whole different video series. My little guy's trying to touch this. Anyway, we're done. We're rambling. All in all, happy experience. It sounds good. Sounds better than it did. The sub, not as much control as I was hoping for, but it's there. It has to be. Bummed about fade control as well. Not a huge deal either. It's a stock system. Come on. We have Apple CarPlay. We've got a cool head unit that looks nice. That we're going to be able to use with our, shoot, now I can use Gaia GPS right here on the head unit, and then use the iPad for something else for my mount stuff and all that. So some cool stuff to think about as well. We're going to get out of the heat. I am literally dripping sweat at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and give a recommend on all this. All this stuff will be in the description below. If you have any questions, hit me up. Happy to help. You know, that's what this community is all about. And so good luck and happy trails, and we'll see you next time. Say bye, Ted.
Bye.